What's up, guys? It's your boy Kittens coming back to you guys with a quick video. I got a little bit of coffee with me, and I was just thinking about some stuff for Magic the Gathering. I know I talk about finances and investing and this, that, and the other, and every once in a while, I see this like picturesque thing on the internet, on YouTube, that it goes, "Is Magic gonna die?" This whole like controversy with like Anniversary Third and whatnot, and it got me to thinking kind of what happens with investments, what happens with cards in a couple different situations if the company just dies. And honestly, the cards kind of skyrocket is the ultimate solution for what happens. The only kind of bad situation, the worst situation that could possibly happen that would actually impact card values overall for people that hold them and whatnot would be if the company slowly dies. Kind of does like a weird like Magic 30th edition, but like 5 more times in a row kind of a thing. And then, let's say they also pair that with overprinting said sets that people are mad, or it's just like a bad, cards are all messed up and they overprinted at the same time. Doing that for like a long period of time could cause card values to go down, even in like the older sides of the market with like 10, 15, 20, like 20-year-old cards and things like that. Just because of that slow die out. But ultimately, once the company dies out or downsizes, printing goes like, hey, we're going to print a little bit less, we're going to get rid of some of the staff, or just straight up company is down, there's no more print. Cards that are, people that hold sealed, that's going to skyrocket because you're the only person now that has sealed. There's going to be no more sealed, right? If you have singles, same thing. There's no more of that card. Cards will have an actual set number of how many there are. Right now in Magic the Gathering, there's a handful of cards that they're copies that just haven't been reprinted or on the list or something, where every single possible copy actually is purchased. Like if you want to buy one of every card of Magic the Gathering, it's kind of isn't possible because there's a handful of unmovable positions where people just have all the card. There just isn't any more of it, and that's just something that happens with Magic the Gathering. So that's kind of the worst scenario. The worst possible scenario is that slow drag out, the slow death of like 5, 10 more Magic 30ths where everyone's mad and then it's overprinted or something like that. The other thing that could happen is the company just decides to downsize, or they just go down completely due to one thing or another really quickly, and then they just like kind of like grab and run the extra stock that they have, or like kind of like offload all the extra stuff they have and try to make as much money as they can at once, which is a possibility. Like sometimes people do that with companies. I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's totally hypothetical, but that's best case scenario, because then the product that people have doesn't actually drop in value and likely won't. And the reason I keep saying this, we're like almost 3 minutes in. I keep saying that is because there's a number of exterior markets. Just a number of places that people buy and sell cards, like the easiest thing that aren't owned by Wizards of the Coast. So like Magic the Gathering Online, the digital market isn't owned by Wizards of the Coast. It was, I think like last year, 2 years ago, bought out for publishing and like arts rights or something like that. So they have like a good amount of rights to actually do stuff with it. So they're the ones that are buying and selling and making money there. And then there's MTGO Traders, I think, is the largest owner of the online like cards themselves, like the digital product of the cards. They aren't owned by Magic the Gathering either. I'm pretty sure they're just a community section. Did some looking, they might be. I don't think so, though. I don't think so in that one. And then other than that, there's also game stores. Game stores aren't owned by Wizards of the Coast, but do get a lot of supplemental income from Wizards of the Coast. Like the easiest thing is like openings. Like the easiest thing to think of is, let's say people do a draft. You open 3 packs per person in a draft. So if there's 10 people there, you're opening 30 packs. That's a full box every week, right? If there's 20 people there, you're opening about 60 packs. So then that's about like 2.5 boxes or so worth of packs every single week that are sold out the door, because normally there's like a $5, a $10, a $15 price tag in the door to get said packs. So you're basically buying the packs that you're drafting with. You just get to get some idealistic picks, which is pretty nice. But realistically, if there isn't any more product and the company shuts down, that $5, $10 in the door turns into a sleeve of cards, a deck box, dice, things like that, just product. Straight up, a game store isn't going to want to lose $150, $200, dollars worth of, consistent income every single week for multiple, events. If people do like paying for commander events plus paying for like a modern event plus paying for like a draft, that's, possibly $400, $500, $600 every single week just from selling product, from people showing up and going like $5, $5, or 10, 10, 10, whatever. So straight up, it'll just switch to product. I don't think that the cards will actually drop in price unless Wizards of the Coast does this weird death dance with like 10 more anniversary 30ths, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's a pretty good game. Talking about all these things 5 minutes in, I would say that it's a pretty stable game. It's a pretty stable investment. And yeah, everything seems fine. I don't think anything's too bad. I mean, the Magic 30th edition was pretty bad, but like realistically, from a person that plays the game casually and buys stuff fairly casually, I don't really see too much trouble on the horizon. So it's been your boy Kittens talking about some kind of generic, if the company shuts down, what will happen? And it's one of those things. It's been your boy Kittens. Peace.